ever seen someone burn all the bridges they once walked proudly across? That's exactly what Meghan Markle is doing right now, and it's playing out like a Hollywood drama. But this time, she's not the one holding the script. The BET Awards were supposed to be another fun night of celebration and safe speeches, but instead, it turned into a live public drama. And leading that drama was Tyler Perry. Yeah, the same Tyler who once gave Meghan and Harry a mansion, a private jet, and paid for their security when they left the royal family. That Tyler Perry. So here's what happened. Perry was up on stage giving a tribute. It was supposed to be respectful, scripted, and safe. But at some point, he went off script and said, "You can't build a palace on unpaid bills." The mood in the room totally changed. It wasn't loud, but it was clear. He didn't say names, but everyone knew who he was talking about. People gasped and social media exploded. It was like Hollywood finally decided it was done. You need to understand this wasn't just a petty jab. It was the moment when the fairy tale cracked in public. Perry, who had always supported her, wasn't just making a comment. He was drawing a line. He had given her so much: gifts, support, loyalty. And according to people who know, she never paid him back. This wasn't about generosity anymore. It was about being used. And then, out of nowhere, another twist. Oprah. Yes, Oprah. She went silent. No calls, no texts, no statements. The same woman who gave Meghan that famous interview in 2021 has now completely ghosted her. Sources close to Oprah's team say they haven't mentioned Meghan in months. She's gone from making headlines to being ignored in Hollywood. Think about how crazy that is. Meghan was once at the center of a huge cultural moment. She had sympathy, power, a royal title, and the media was all over her. Now, the top PR firms won't touch her. WME, CIA, even UTA firms that would normally fight to represent a royal are reportedly walking away. Why? Because she's become too controversial. Too much drama, too much baggage. Inside the industry, they call it the moral risk factor. Sounds like a warning for a stock, doesn't it? But that's how seriously these firms take it. Every project she touches either gets canceled, fails, or ends in some kind of mess. Netflix gave her $100 million. Yeah, $100 million. And what came from it? Pearl, the animated show, was canceled before it even launched. Love to Lead barely made a splash. And the documentary series? It was so boring that Rolling Stone called it Goop Meets Suits, with none of the charm. Let's rewind to why people like Tyler Perry even helped her in the first place. In 2020, Meghan and Harry had just left the UK. No security, no home, no plan. Enter Tyler Perry, the guy who literally flew them to safety and gave them a luxury LA mansion. That wasn't just kindness. That was trust. He bet on them. And now he's publicly pulling his support back in front of a BET audience? That's not subtle. That's a warning. Behind the scenes, Perry's team had apparently been telling him for years to set boundaries. They reportedly told him, "This isn't philanthropy, it's charity without consent." And now that the bills have been dodged long enough, he's done being the quiet friend. He made it clear on stage that Meghan's empire isn't built on gratitude, it's built on using people and PR gloss. And the worst part? Even the people who once had her back like Oprah are pulling away. In Hollywood, where loyalty is everything, Meghan's credit just ran out. Tyler Perry wasn't the only one sending a message that night. Hollywood seems to be speaking with one voice now, and it's saying, enough. For someone who once got global attention with one headline, Meghan Markle is learning how quickly the industry can turn its back on you. Invitations dried up, and press interest barely makes a sound. She didn't even make the Vanity Fair Oscar party guest list this year. That's not a coincidence. Event organizers are done dealing with her team's demands. Special entrances, blackout press coverage, guaranteed spotlight time. She wanted the royal treatment without the royal grace to match. And it's not just red carpets. Her team's calls to top studios and platforms are being ignored. No green lights, no deals, no meetings. Sources say she's been quietly removed from lists at several big media companies. At this point, it's like she's become a ghost in her own city. A-list Hollywood doesn't deal with chaos this big, especially when there's no benefit. The real problem? Her so-called empire is crumbling behind the scenes too. Financial watchdogs are starting to pay attention. multiple U.S. institutions have reportedly flagged suspicious activity tied to her Archwell Foundation. Banks are noticing strange patterns like inflated consulting fees, delayed reimbursements, and odd expenses. One banking executive even told Forbes, "Meghan is brand rich but cash poor." In other words, she looks wealthy on paper, but her projects never really deliver. Her 2024 tax filings didn't help her case either. Archwell reported almost $3 million in admin expenses, with almost no real content produced that year. Legal experts are starting to question whether some of these expenses are even allowed for nonprofit spending. Personal stylists, high-end travel, media consultants with unclear jobs. It's got "Audit Me" written all over it. Then there's the Spotify fallout. That $20 million podcast deal was supposed to be the foundation of Meghan's media empire. But it fell apart after just 12 episodes. Internally, Spotify didn't just end the deal, they burned all bridges. One exec publicly called her and Harry P-lotters. And staff were reportedly fed up. Meghan had promised more than she delivered and blamed everyone else when things went wrong. She tried to recover with her latest podcast teaser, Confessions of a Female Founder. But even that failed. It barely made any waves. And a focus group said it was self-important and confusing. There's no buzz left, no spark. Not in podcasts, TV, or publishing. Her once promising brand now feels like a bad investment. No one wants to admit they made a mistake. Remember, this was someone who once had Oprah's full support. Her 2021 interview pulled in 17 million viewers and took over the global conversation. Meghan walked away from that as a huge cultural figure. But according to a source close to Oprah's team, they started having second thoughts soon after. Behind the scenes, palace advisors quietly warned them that Meghan's story didn't add up. They ignored it at first, but now Oprah is pulling away fast. Even Meghan's close friend, Gayle King, has gone quiet. No mentions, no shout-outs, just silence. It's strategic, not personal. Meghan's become a liability, and Hollywood runs on reputation. When things heat up, even your friends step back. And for Meghan, the spotlight is fading. Archwell isn't just dealing with PR issues, it might be heading into a full-blown legal mess. Nonprofit experts are getting interested. Some are using terms like self-dealing, which is a serious accusation for charities. Meghan's personal glam squad showing up in the expense reports is not a good sign, especially when the foundation isn't producing much content. Leaked documents reviewed by Bloomberg show that the numbers don't add up. Over $2 million in administrative costs with almost no results, that's not a charity. That's a red flag. People close to the situation are starting to talk. Former Archwell workers say they were chasing reimbursements for months. One vendor even said they had to threaten legal action just to get paid. Another said payments stopped whenever public criticism spiked. It's like panic was seeping into the accounting department. And now this isn't just gossip. It's a pattern. Even the IRS has reportedly been tipped off. While no formal investigation has started yet, nonprofit lawyers say it's just a matter of time. Once you start using nonprofit funds for personal branding or paying consultants who are also your stylists, it's no longer just a mess. It could be criminal. And California's charity laws are strict. Meanwhile, Meghan's media value has nearly vanished. She used to land magazine covers just by being mentioned. Now magazines won't touch her. Page 6 reported that People magazine, once a friendly outlet, quietly canceled a planned profile on her. Editors didn't want to upset their readers or advertisers. That's how much things have changed. Behind closed doors, her own team is falling apart. Staff turnover is high, morale is low, and leaks are constant. Her PR firm doesn't handle crisis management anymore. They're just focused on damage control. And the real damage isn't just financial, it's reputational. Meghan is no longer seen as the misunderstood outsider challenging the monarchy. She's seen as someone who manipulated the narrative, overpromised, and underdelivered. Even her marriage to Prince Harry, which used to be her ultimate shield, isn't helping anymore. Every appearance they make now is picked apart for awkward moments. Body language experts are making careers out of analyzing their every move. The public isn't rooting for them anymore. They're waiting for the fall. Even Netflix, which gave them $100 million, is backing off. Budgets have been cut and creative control has been taken away. Rumors say Meghan no longer has the final say on their upcoming projects. One exec told Deadline, "We thought we were getting the crown, but we got a daytime blog with royal undertones." Inside, the mood is clear. This isn't high-quality content. It's damage control disguised as storytelling. And then there's the financial issues. Banks like Wells Fargo and First Republic have noticed weird money movements from her business accounts. Consultants getting paid before employees. Large sums going out with no clear purpose. Delayed payments and rushed filings. On paper, she still seems rich, but in reality, she might be running out of money. This is what happens when the story falls apart, not in flames, but in silence. No invitations, no premieres, no collaborations. Meghan's name, once valuable, is now a warning sign. Hollywood doesn't care about titles. It cares about trust. And that's what Meghan has lost. There's no royal safety net left, no palace to blame, no Oprah to save the day. Meghan Markle built her brand by breaking away from the crown, but in doing so, she may have broken the one thing she couldn't afford to lose, her credibility. And in Hollywood, once that's gone, everything goes with it.